All right, are you guys ready for some more comedy of sorts? I need more. This next woman is obviously risking her life to be here, and she's a noble woman, too. Put your hands together for Madame McQueen.
Let me first just start off by saying that this collar is not for fashion. It's just that the doctor gave me some stitches and is afraid that I would chew them off. So, does anyone feel here, like, let's get real. Does anyone feel like the Renaissance is done? Like, what a fad, right? Like, I get it. You guys are artistic, but come on. Let's get real. And not to sound bitter, I sound like I'm bitter. I just dated a lot of skeevy dudes. You like these brooding, self-important, like, artists. Like, the last thing I need is another sculptor with, like, a cold sore on his lip. You know what I mean? Like, these guys are skeevy. I don't want to brag, okay, but I used to hook up with Michelangelo. And let me tell you, that guy is a dick. Like, hello, that's fine if your first name, if you want to have 5 syllables in your first name, but don't get pissed when people call you Mike. Okay? Don't get so pissed, Michelangelo. So what's up with Peter Paul Rubens? Have you guys been looking at his art? What's up with this guy? He's just drawing all these portraits of, like, bigger naked women. And it's like, hi, what, in your world, there's, like, no shop for plus-size women? They just got to be naked, like, around a pillowcase? Like, what are you doing? You guys, don't even get me started on Galileo. Okay? I'm going to tell you straight up. That guy is using astronomy to get chicks. He's all like, yeah, come over to my place, and we'll go up to the rooftop and telescope and chill. Don't fall for it, ladies. Don't fall for it. Anyways, I gotta run. I have a date with Bill Shakespeare. This is weirdly enough. This is a weird fact. Do you know that this guy is just so, what a coincidence. This guy is from Stratford upon Avon, and I sell makeup from Avon upon Avon. Women, I am gonna hit you up. If you wanna make money from home part-time, I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna hit you up a lot. Thank you so much.
Now, I'm so glad that you guys all came out to enjoy this amazing production of comedy. But as you know, shows like this, they're not free, okay? We have to have someone to pay for them. So I, of course, went out and got sponsorship. So this show is actually sponsored. So I have an amazing traveling team of commercial actors. They do commercial theater. They're amazing. Put your hands together for the commercial actors.
I shall get in position.
Good gentles all, let not this happen to thee.
Hark! I hath fallen and canst not arise.
When thou art alone and of advanced age, an emergency can become a tragedy of Shakespearean proportions.
And thus I die, broken of hip and spirit.
Howe'er, help can be summoned anon with new life crier. Observe this scene anew.
Hark! I hath fallen and canst not arise.
Life crier, what be thy emergency?
Canst not thou see me helpless at thy feet?
Ah, yes. Worry not, help be on the way. Hear ye! Let it be known that this good lady does lie prostrate and in need of physic.
How long dost thou think it may take?
Worry not, good woman, for my cry shall reach the farthest of ears.
Couldst thou not just help me up?
Come, all ye healers! Come, nurses and chemists!
Might I have a sip of water?
Come, pigeons, to fly and take word of this lady's need afar.
Life crier shall follow thee around, and with one ring of thy patented life crier bell, help shall be on the way, guaranteed within 7 business days of the sundial.
and thus I die once more.
Yes, but not alone, good lady. Thy friend Life-Crier is with thee. What sayest thou, Crier?
One canst win them all. She did live a good long life. She was 28 after all.
With Life-Crier thou shalt never be alone. And if thou needs die in the street, at least thou shalt have thy trusty Crier with thee.
Life-Crier has yet to save an actual life. If thou dost hast the plague, Life-Crier will not get within 15 feet of thee. If thou hast taken a fake poison to be with thy lover, thou shalt not be resuscitated. Offer not good in Stratford, Cornwall, and Kentucky.
Crier alert, trust me, I just got my mom one. She's so old, she's 34. Oh. Are you guys ready for some more comedy? Let me hear it. I'm very excited to have this next guy. I know his brother, so we know each other, but that's all I'm going to say. But he's really funny. Put your hands together for Gilbert Shakespeare.
Give it up for Jody Miller. My name is Gilbert Shakespeare. I was born in 1566. I am the younger brother of William Shakespeare. Make some noise if you know him. You can do louder that. When I say doth make some, you say doth noise. Doth make some. Doth make some. See, writing shit's not that hard. Now, everyone knows my brother's works, but people do not know that I too write. It runs in the family. Obviously, I'm not as famous. I'm trying quite hard. I'm not bitter towards my brother. A lot of people think I might be bitter. I'm not. I support him. And right now, though, I'm going to read you one of my personal poems. Now, as is customary in 1613, everything needs a town crier to announce it for exactly no fucking reason. So, without further ado, town crier, please let them know I will be singing a poem.
Ye, local autistic boy reads poem.
Fuck my brother, fuck him so. His plays doth suck, his goatee doth blow. When maidens read his words, their countryside gets wet. Yet it soon dries up when they meet me, Gilbert. So I will tell you some jokes, but let me be blunt. 1613 was kind of a cunt. There was plagues and witches, it's really quite grave. We don't have medicine or really hot slaves. So gather round ye, even handicapped folk, for I am Gilbert Shakespeare, and I'll tell you some jokes. Thank you very much, thank you. I will be telling you jokes now. These are quite easy to write, so if you don't like them, fake laugh. Are you ready, town crier?
Hear ye, jokes to be told for average-looking crowd.
Galileo is in the news. Have you seen this? Have you read about this? Galileo has discovered that the earth revolves around the sun. When I asked Galileo how did he figure that out, he said it just dawned on him. In other Galileo news, Galileo has just invented a device called a thermometer. Galileo invited me over to his lab to check it out, and when I got there, he bent me over, he pulled down my pants, and he slipped himself inside of me. And then he also showed me the thermometer. News from overseas is that a local savage girl by the name of Pocahontas has saved the life of our own John Smith. When asked if she regretted doing it, she said, "No, I have no reservations." Oh, but you'll see a fucking play about a guy banging his mum. All right, cool, I see what's up. Guy Fawkes has been sentenced to hang for treason. But to be honest, this kind of looks like a bit of a word puzzle. Because I've never seen a Guy Fawkes hung, but I've definitely seen some hung guys I'd fork. Scotland is still pretty pissed that we publicly beheaded Mary, the Queen of Scots. It's the second most amount of head I've seen a queen give since I went through that phase in college. Thank you, town drunk. The Pendle witch trials are due to take place next week in Lancashire, with 12 ladies being accused of witchcraft after a witch hunt. For those of you who don't know what a witch hunt is, it's where we basically get to accuse anyone of anything without any actual facts, and then they lose their house, their job, and we publicly execute them. But don't worry, men, it only happens to ladies. And that concludes the jokes. Thank you. Before I get out of here, obviously everyone loves my brother's works. I don't like the endings because I don't think they're realistic. I'm a grown-up. So right now I will do a grown-up's realistic version of if I walked in on Romeo and Juliet at the end of Romeo and Juliet. Town crier, will you please play that intro?
Hear ye, hear ye. Alternative ending to Romeo and Juliet.
Hey, you two, calm the fuck down. Thank you very much.
This is a failed playwright, and in my opinion, all the better. Everybody's a playwright. I went to Ye Old Coffee and Tea Leaf, and everybody was just writing plays nonstop. It was disgusting. So, like, please, pick a better profession, like barber surgeon, okay? This next guy is amazing. Failed playwright. Put your hands together for Smithers Jackson.
You guys knew I was black. You heard Smithers. You heard Jackson. You knew what the fuck was going on. If you don't mind, I'd like to read you some thoughts from my journal in 1600, if that's okay. Is that okay with you guys? Slavery is really going strong now. And I say that to get a gauge on the crowd. Normally when people are against it, they boo. But you guys just kind of chuckled like, yeah, that shit's cool. We like slavery. The T-shirts are cheaper. That's the word I was trying to get. I don't know how to read. I told you, just got out of slavery. They gave me a horse. I put a bumper sticker on it that said, I'd rather be in Africa. Don't awe. You guys didn't have to make that boat trip, so. As some of you know, William Shakespeare wrote a lot of plays. You know that. But what you don't know is that he was a serial masturbator. Because his last name wasn't originally Shakespeare. Shakespeare, he's shaking a spear, shaking it into your coffee. He used to work at a diner, roadside diner called Tasty's. He's a line cook, and he got caught masturbating in people's soup. He wrote a play called Othello about a black dude who's married to a white woman, which is never a good idea, not even back then. It's fucked up then, even more fucked up now, but continues to be fucked up. Like I said, just flat line of fucked upness. So his play is about Othello. He's married to Desdemona, and Othello ends up killing her because his friend convinces him that Desdemona is cheating with a cat named Cassio. Now, what you also didn't know, I'm assuming you guys aren't history buffs, is that Othello's last name was Jenkins, but his friends called him OJ. And this is the first time in history a brother named OJ killed his white wife because of jealousy. A lot of you don't know Shakespeare was a thief. Most of his plays were based on plays that other people had actually already fucking written. Othello was written based on, I told you I didn't know how to read. It's based on a play called Un Capitano Moro. That means the black captain. Okay, somebody, history buff. I wrote a play before Un Capitano Moro called The Brother and the White Chick from Inglewood. Okay? Very similar themes. Now, mine, a brother named Willie Sticks from Queens is married to this Puerto Rican chick with a fat ass. Her name is Naomi. Another play I wrote. Now, I'm going to read. In this situation, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to read. It's going to be a comparison. I'm going to read the lines from his version and then read the lines from my version so you can compare and kind of see this dude stole my shit. All right? Now, his play was called Romeo and Juliet. Mine was Lil Romeo and Taisha, okay? I want you guys to listen closely. Put on your listening ears, okay? His line says, "O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love." Mine says, "Romeo, why are you Romeo? Leave your family and come get this pussy." And then she says, "It's not you, it's because you're Armenian, and my family hates Armenians." Really, they just don't like Glendale, but it's the same. And then he says, Romeo says, "Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized," which translates, "Looking at you in them damn yoga pants, if you say you love me, I'll be whatever the fuck you want me to be." And then she says, "My ears have not drunk 100 words of tonight's uttering, and yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo, a Montague?" Which basically means, "Fool, I barely heard you, and I know that Armenian accent is at you, my dog Romeo." So as you can see, she took my whole shit. Fucking 1613s. All right, thank you. I'm Smithers Jackson. I'm trapped.
Okay. Now, another word from our sponsor.
Has this ever happened to thee?
So much blood! Out, damn spot! Out, I say! A better way there has to be.
Uh-oh, Lady Macbeth, hast thou a stubborn blood stain that thou canst scrub away?
Hast I ever? But what disembodied voice calleth to me?
'Tis I, Lord Proctor of Gamble. I bring thee thy answer to thy woes.
Hast thou brought a dagger for me with which to end my misery?
Nay, I bring good tidings and a good tide.
Good poison! I shall eat thee anon.
Nay, thou wouldst garner many views on the tube of you. 'Tis not the true purpose. Watch and be amazed.
Zoons! My whites ne'er looked whiter, my colors ne'er brighter.
Huzzah!
Look, here comes my husband. Husband, doth thou notice anything different about me?
Nay, wife, thou standest in the same place where I left thee to thy chores.
Husband, feast thine eyes upon my spotless clothing.
Hast thou spent all day on that one spot? Hast thou done nothing else? Art not the dishes done? Where be my supper? I have been out murdering all this day for thee.
Thou wilt get no dinner from me, and to be sure, thou shalt have none of my pie ever again.
My wife be a shrew, and oh, this bloody business doth soil my soul.
Soiled soul got you down? Luxuriate in the guilt-relieving lather with the latest product, Macbeth. Simply soak thy sins away, now with the stain-fighting power of denial.
What hath I done? What hath I done?
Oh, be sure to try our Tide sticks for those sins on the go. Tide from the makers of the world's best toilet paper, but soft.
Are you guys ready? We have a very special guest. She's a drop-in. She's like one of those overnight successes that we like to talk about. What a whore, right? No, I'm really happy for her. I mean, she's like really famous now. Just put your hands together for Juliet.
How now, gentle lords and noble ladies. I am Juliet Capulet. Oh, mine father didst forget to pay our carriage tax, so the city of Verona has slapped a boot on me. Hast thou heard of me, thou propst has, for I make mine own facial scrubbery, out of ceruse, chalk, pig's lard, and just a dram of powdered mouse bones. I shall demonstrate my beauty regimen in the town square at 5 o'clock in the morrow. Thou shouldst come, 'tis only 3 ducats per jar. And if thou buys 5 jars, thou wilt receive a free goat's milk colonic. I am here, for I do have a new love, new beau, who dis? Romeo 'tis his name, and he gives me all of the feelings, but I understand him not. Canst thou help me? Oh, Romeo, Romeo. Sup with thee, Romeo? He speaks in metaphor and iambic pentameter, and 'tis killing me. I cry. I didst bring here what he hath said to me. Whilst thou think he's sick or on fleek. Oh, and he did say all of this whilst standing right below my balcony. Didst he think that I could not hear? I be not deaf. And why? Why didst he break into mine property and creep in such a way? 'Tis sus. He didst say this. What light through yonder window breaks it is the east, and Juliet is the sun. I mean, doth he think I look like the sun? The sun is corpulent and yellow. Do not fleer me with thy insults, Romeo. Is my skin a yellowish hue? Have I the Black Death? Or doth he think I literally am the sun? That I am that bright yellow orb in the sky that is on fire? Oh, Romeo, Romeo, thou be adorbs, but if thou thinketh that I am actually the sun, thou canst be well enough in the mind brain to be my bae. She speaks, yet she says nothing. Why? Thank thee for the compliment, Romeo. Seriously? That was savage. I shall see my sweet love Romeo later this eve. I wonder what inanimate object I shall appear to be to thee today, Romeo. Am I not a maiden, a real live person? I am 10 and 3, and I am most deaf a woman, because my red river didst come upon me, and red rose petals did fall forth from twixt my nethers. If he doth desire to put his bagpipe into mine dock of pudding, his plum tree shaker into my mockin of love, he wouldst do better to fashion metaphors that suit me, or just maketh sense. Doth my language be too crass for all of thee? Sorrowed, not sorrowed. Oh, I do hope this worketh out with Romeo, for I do care for him, and if it doth not, I should stab myself, because courting, am I right, maidens? Thank you.
Are you guys ready for some more comedy? Let me hear it. So this is the great thing about stand-up, when it's like you can have famous people like Juliet, and then you can have like open micers, you know what I mean? Like people that just want to try out the follies for the first time. This guy, this is like his first open mic. So you guys are going to be like really amazing, right? Let me hear it. He's trying the comedy for the first time. Travels all over the Providence. Put your hands together for James Kennedy.
Thank you. Madam asked me if I saw her set. And I said, no, they're covered up. Oh, peddler's excrement. I have the wrong note. I'm getting into the landowning game. And I'm starting to flip castles. It's quite nice. Over in the Shire. This is going to go terribly. So I was doing the wheelbarrow of shame the other night. And I started itching and scratching. Have you had that? And I realized I caught a small case of scabies. Have you had that? I only lost one toe. So I just turned 35. How am I breathing? All right, I'm going to do some of my jokes. Your mother is so grotesque. She resembles a small ferret. Your mother is so pauperish that she can only afford 2 serving men. It was much funnier at Swingers. I found some woman that I like. And I was going to send her a dick painting. So I was with my little man Philip, you know, and I was doing my dick painting, and I was like, see, look at the beautiful shaft, you know. Look at the colors and look at the textures. And I said, look at the size of the cap, you know. And he said to me, that is most interesting, sire. Who are you going to send it to? And I said, I'm going to give it to Princess Stephanie. I shall leave it outside her window at 2 a.m. I call it, can you be here in 10? So, I was fornicating under the king the other night. And it's very long, right? So we just have like a term for that. Like, fuck. Fornicating under king's consent. But the question is, who asks for consent? Oh, not funny now, not funny then.